Are you a woman who works a lot, actually too much, who pressures yourself, who don't sleep enough, who don't eat healthily enough, who don't exercise enough, according to your own feeling? Do you feel that you have to work too much to achieve results? And do you feel that you have to compromise on what's important for you, suppress your own values, suppress important parts of yourself, suppress your libido, your sense of sensuality and pleasure? I mean, forget about that. Did you forget about that? Then this broadcast is for you. Because we see an interesting tendency in the world. We see that we keep electing female leaders who are actually very masculine. So just did that in Britain, elected as someone that could be one of the boys, according to also her own saying. And there's nothing wrong with that. But where's the counterweight to the boys and the masculine leadership if there's not enough feminine leadership? Nothing wrong with one of or the other, masculine or feminine, but too much of one of those leads to an overdose, and actually the other one goes weak. If they're not equally strong, we create an imbalance for all. So that's why I'm reminding female leaders and founders, entrepreneurs, fiery soul, you have a great responsibility for putting in some counterweight in the world to all the overdrive of masculine leadership, even displayed by women. You have a special responsibility because you have a responsibility towards yourself, first and foremost, to your health. If you have children, grandchildren, to yourself, it's like the biggest responsibility. You have this one life. Is that going to be spent just pressuring yourself to hell? Could be different. We could do things differently. Lots and lots of women demonstrate that every single day, making the switch from a very masculine way of operating a female system to a more balanced way. And that requires getting to know your feminine gear, getting to know your feminine wing, and strengthening that so your masculine wing can relax a little bit and you can actually fly up to that level of consciousness where all the solutions are. So you have a great responsibility towards yourself. And when you take that responsibility seriously, it also affects all your surroundings. So you heal yourself, you heal your children, you heal your parents, you heal your community. It has such ripple effects. But you also have a responsibility in the bigger scheme for balancing or rebalancing the world. This is where I really believe that the Dalai Lama was right when he said the world will be changed by Western women. Because where else do we have the surplus and the so-called freedom? We have a lot of freedom to lead ourselves and to vote for what we consider the light, vote for a more balanced future, vote for a more regenerative future, vote for Mother Earth, our honoring of Mother Earth, vote for taking care of the next generations. We can do that, us women in the West. So we have a responsibility towards the rest of the world, because we can't expect that people who don't even have bread for themselves and their children are able to take these choices. So we have to do it. Really, it's time. And the good news is that it can be full of pleasure to do it. It is not that much hard work. I think it was harder if I would have lived a few thousand years ago, which I probably maybe did. It would have been a little bit more of a, I would say, harder job, or just like a little bit more dreadful job to say, hello, women, we're now entering a couple of thousand of years of patriarchy, and you will have to suppress your feelings. You will have to work hard. You will have to either be a victim or have to work like a man in order to succeed. You know, that would have been a different job. But thankfully, the job I have now is to say, hey, women, we can have so much more fun and so much more ease and so much more pleasure and so much more joyful, fruitful, loving, caring, compassionate interaction with men. It is, our time has come. It is so exciting. It's going to be so much fun. It is already a lot of fun. It is so interesting, so exciting, so opening. It's time for the heart. It's time for the physical intelligence, the erotic intelligence. It's time for the spiritual intelligence. It's time for the relational intelligence. All the strengths that are innate in women, their time has come. And all we need to do is to access them and cultivate them and display them and have fun with them. I mean, what a great job. It is a wonderful time for women, but you have to grab that chance. So I'm here to say hello. If you work too hard, if you're too stressed, if you have too little pleasure, if you're too self-critical, if you feel too insecure, if you are have low self-esteem deep down, which all of us have before we work on a different perspective on ourselves. Well, if you have all that, or if you feel stressed, if you're exhausted, if you are maybe even got ill, maybe you're in a crisis, in the middle of a divorce, in the middle of your company going down the drain, or a myriad of other things, there is so much hope, so much light at the end of the tunnel. And if you couple up with other women, such as myself or my colleagues, then you can go with a fast track to the light at the end of the tunnel and have more joy and spread more light and help create a better world for yourself first and foremost, but also for your surroundings and the rest of the world. So it is a great time for women, but we have to grab it. We have to take advantage of it. We have to step up and enjoy this moment and do something about it. So that's why I'm saying, if you are a woman with too little feminine energy in your system, or too little access to your feminine genius, and exhausted from using your masculine gear all the time or too much, then come and get the solution. It's easy, it can be fast, it can be so much joyful, so much full of so much joy and pleasure. So nothing to lose. Go for it. And thank you for your attention.